The Turtle Island was once a broad and a vast place. A place that required many moons to travel across. A place our master of life, Retaliation, placed us in the middle to hold steady. He made everything upon this earth obey us and placed his heart in our tribe. He made the Mikoches, chief of the Shawnee. The land was rich with game, and many clear waters ran through our country. But now the Turtle Island is now a small place. There is not so much game as there once was. We are no longer the chiefs of other nations. There is no peace, no harmony, and no clear waters. Only those that run red with blood. One day when my soul travels west to the edge of the world, I hope that I may talk with the spirits. I hope that I may ask them why, without giving offense, why this all came to be. I hope that they will tell me why Cornstalk, my beloved uncle, our greatest peace chief, was murdered, was hacked to death by angry men. Cornstalk, who devoted his life to peace and to the safety of our people, whose wisdom was beyond all of ours, who loved the way of the Mikoche more than any other thing. Why his last moments upon this earth was one of violence and dishonor. I hope that he followed the path above the roof of the world, and that he sits with me till he Niweda. I hope that one day he will tell me why, that I may understand. This would bring peace to my mind and make my heart easy. Henny, Colonel Morgan, Janusa has not yet arrived.
Good. Private, keep an eye on that trailhead there. You'll likely see Shawnee warriors before you hear them.
Colonel, you must make your soldiers understand that they can show no sign of hostility. This is a war party. If we are lucky enough for them not to attack as soon as they see you, it will only take one hostile gesture or movement to bring them to violence.
Then stand firm but neutral. We are here to parley, that is all. And what we have to do is these warriors lay down their arms and stop this retaliation. Okay, Nika. I just want to make them understand that when those militiamen attacked Cornstalk, they were acting as an angry mob, not on behalf of our government. Governor Patrick Henry and Congress have denounced the murders of our Shawnee brethren.
Then why have those militiamen not been brought to justice? Colonel Morgan, the death of my uncle was the worst thing that could have happened. His death caused Janusa and Blackfish's revenge against your settlements.
Colonel, there's movement on the trail. 100 yards, closing.
Do not challenge them. Let them see your peaceful intention, Colonel. Signal.
Major, fix a white flag to your firelight. Let it be seen.
50 yards, sir. Seems to be about 25 of them. They've got captors, too.
Indeed. Private post.
Oh, Nika! Oh, Nika! Halaku!
Oh, Nika!
Oh, Niki man, Eleniti. Halaku! Anyway, brothers, we come in a good way, with our eyes open, but our hearts heavy with pain and suffering. Nikani! 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 It has been several moons since we have met in the council and held each other's hands. There has been much bloodshed this season, but I see you have addressed our grievances and restored honor to our people. I entreat you to listen to what we have to say. Here you are. Come, sit with us. Wipe your face. Have some water. Let us smoke a while. Colonel.
Brothers, I greet you in a humble manner with respect and recognition of your war deeds. I know that the loss of Cornstalk and the invasion of Shawnee country have done much to rile you, but I hope that your Kentucky raids have quelled your lust for vengeance and brought a balance to your loss.
It's good to see you. If you have misread them, we put a gestures of peace as speaking on all our behalf. You do not understand the wrongs that have occurred while you've been away at Fort Pitt with your Virginian father. These captives will soothe the pain of our families and win the alliance of the British in Detroit. Colonel Morgan, you have been a friend, but the winds of war now blow upon us. And the never-ceasing advancement of your long knives has made us angry with your fathers. We welcome the Black Belt of war.
Nusa, it is not my intention to belittle the pain of your warriors or lessen their honor. But we have no fight with the Shawnee as long as they remain north of the Ohio and do not counsel with the British in Detroit.
Yes, brother, see the wisdom of Colonel Morgan. Come into the light from the forest. We acknowledge the Kentucky raids as revenge for our fallen warriors, but brothers, it is now time for us to step aside from the once conflict and take the chain of friendship.
You would have
Come to the Delaware town and sit with White Eyes.
You would have us join with the Delaware. Be suckled by Virginia. Perhaps as an old woman and move closer to the settlements for care. Do you not see your disgrace in White Eye's weakness?
It is no disgrace to leave a fight that is not ours and maintain the agreements of our fathers.
The fight is ours, Neowa. You say your eyes are open, but clearly your ears are deaf to the voices from the forest. Our land has been taken, and our people destroyed. Tell me, who pays for the loss of the Colonial and the slaughter of Shawnee at Fort Randolph?
Zimbabwe, this is a critical time. Things have gone very wrong. It is true, parties have been hunting on Shawnee lands, destroying game, pushing the Indian to the point of a general war in this country. But it pleases God to bless us with victory to overcome our British enemies.
I not seen your efforts at Fort Pitt with my own eyes. I would call you a long-knife liar, worthy of being hunted and skewered like a deer, your mouth and belly stuffed with soil. The Virginians want no peace. War is the means by which you plot the theft of our homeland.
And we're coming from the forest, when I no longer see the king's children coming towards me through it. So long as there are long knives in this country, I will remain in the forest. Iowa, you know the breach of our agreements, and the blood that stains this ground.
Brother, perhaps your eye can no longer see as far as Williamsburg and recognize the power of Chief Washington. It is with the Virginians that we must contend, no longer the British king.
Our desire is to avoid offending other nations, to restrain our own people, and to promote good order, to avoid encroachment on your lands. Cornstalk's legacy is for peace.
Do not speak of my father while his body is not yet cold. It is your extended hands of peace that are colored by his blood.
Colonel Morgan, your intentions are good. And when we look to the east, we see the great Chief Washington and your father's house. Our quarrel is not in the east, but here. The actions of your people in the Ohio are dishonest. Your deceit and disregard have caused our strong reaction. The deaths of our families have been avenged by the killing of your countrymen. My heart has been made at ease with the success of our raids. It is up to our council to decide the fate of the chiefs.
Is that Captain Boone? That goddamn Daniel Boone! Hey, what? This is too much. What is to be done with him?
We cannot involve ourselves. What do you mean? This is for Chanutza and Blackfish's family to decide.
Perhaps he will burn in our fires on the Great Miami, or be taken to Detroit. We are unsure as of yet of what form of caressing he will receive to lighten our burden of grief.
Tanusa, I demand a negotiation for Captain Boone and this woman, even if we part from this parley without resolution.
We have no room, none for negotiation. Their lives lie in the hands of Retaliation. In exchange for the lives of my uncle and brothers. It is better for Blackfish to decide than for you here and now. Because I assure you, if you challenge their authority over these captives, death before your eyes and their scalps made a present to you. Boone is known to the Shawnee as a great hunter. And if he remains humble and respectful, he may even be adopted by Blackfish. Stand down.
Colonel, there's no need for worry. I'm just on a little hunting.
Halt! Stand down!
Iowa, you're on the wrong side of this fight. You should be as enraged and disheartened as a brother. An American alliance is poisonous to all who enter into it. No red band could disagree.
Please, I beg you, with all humility, come with us to Fort Randolph and surrender these captives as a sign of the contentment of your heart, and receive presents from our stores of powder, shot, and rum. Make it known we can work through this confusion and not drive hundreds into the hands of the British and the Shawnee to destruction.
Brothers, my father Nimwa, first brother to Cornstalk, grieves and cries out in his pain every day. Nimwa says an alliance with these Americans is the proper course to save the Shawnee, and they welcome us to come in from the forest.
And receive the same just American welcome as did my father and brothers. The comfort of a dry-bedded food stores, followed by the butchery of the militia. To be ambushed in a white man's law.
It is highly regrettable what lately happened to that noble party, but Cornstalk and his company were killed by the militia, not Continentals, and in retaliation for the murder of a white traitor. Miss Copway, you cannot blame the Virginia fathers for this outrage!
Yes. Cornstalk was killed by the militia, and not Continentals. There was more to the story, is there not? Why was Cornstalk thrown into the stockade at Fort Randolph? He'd only gone there to see what has happened to 2 Shawnee men. But the commander threw him into the stockade and was heard to say that he is well satisfied. All the Shawnee are all our enemies. Yes, the militia avenged the death of a white traitor. A man who was known to be a bad man, who constantly cheated Indians. And when the militia arrived at Fort Randolph, the Continentals, who were guarding Cornstalk, stood down, watched. The militia broke down the doors and butchered them! Now you look me in my eyes. You tell me this is not true.
Well,
We are here to confirm our good intentions and plead for patience. Nay, please explain this news of the need for the cessation of hostilities here and the maintenance of peace with your nation.
Colonel, I cannot. It is true that you have done no harm. But I see the state of blood on all of us, which the folly and mischief of your Virginians has caused.
And it is their destruction that endangers peace. They are listening. The annihilation of our people is always a misunderstanding.
Nay, all of you, you must recognize that if you refuse the Virginians now, they will hunt you without end. They will fill the woods with as many men as the trees or as the stones that are on the ground. And any who do not remain neutral or take up the hatchet with us will be looked upon as enemies of these United States.
perhaps your wooden army would meet us en route to the Miami, or on our way to greet the British fathers in Detroit.
Oh, I never thought so highly of you.
Perhaps Colonel Morgan, you would accompany to our towns on the Miami.
You must tell me what's happening. Hey, please!
It will never be done with you until we are no more. Colonel, the best place for me, for both of our people. Shawnee, Salanoke Kitnole, we will see each other again. Yes, we will! Ah!
If we had anything to expect from that nation, it's vanished.
Shawnee are lost to us.